The warm and intelligent Labrador Retriever is the first breed in America to be registered with the American Kennel Club. Even people who are not dogs can recognize the lab, and artists and photographers have photographed them countless times, usually as a loyal companion, waiting patiently beside its owner. The lab is designed for sports, muscular and athletic. They have a short, easy care coat, friendly demeanor, extreme intelligence and abundant energy. The dedication to this breed is deep. Labs are loving, people-oriented dogs who live to serve their families, and the owners and fans sometimes liken their labs to angels. The breed originated on the island of Newfoundland, off the northeast coast of the Atlantic Ocean of Canada. Originally called St. John's Dog, after the capital, Newfoundland, they were bred to help local fishermen pull nets, fetch ropes, and retrieve fish that survived the nets, as well as to be a family dog. Today, most labs get past the hard work and spend the days being pampered and loved by their employees. However, some labs are still indispensable working dogs. The gentle nature of the lab makes them an excellent therapy dog, visits elderly homes and hospitals, and their intelligence makes them an ideal dog to help people with disabilities. They also excel as a search and rescue or retriever dog for hunters, thanks to their athletic build, strong nose, and gritty nature. Labs also became the breed to be overcome in dog sports such as agility and obedience competitions, and especially obedience competitions. There is one job Lab's desperate dog, keeper. In fact, the owners say their beautiful and informative lab is more likely to welcome an intruder and happily show them where the goods are stored. Labrador Retrievers have proven useful and versatile throughout the breed's history, easily transforming from a hunter companion, to a field retriever, for show dog, to a modern working dog. One role remained constant: a wonderful companion and friend. Highlights: Labrador Retrievers like, love, and love to eat and become fat very quickly if overused. Cut back on rewards, give your tester plenty of exercise, and measure regular meals rather than leaving food out all the time. And beware, the lab's big appetite extends to people's food and even inedible items. The Labrador will feed in the trash, browse the counter, and can prepare a meal out of chewable items such as baby toys. Labrador Retrievers are bred for physically demanding jobs, and they have a high energy in keeping with being a working breed. They need at least 30 to 60 minutes of exercise per day. Without it, they can vent their pent-up energy in destructive ways, like barking and chewing. Labs have such a reputation that many people think they don't need to be bothered to train. But labs are large, lively animals, and like all dogs, they need to be taught good dog behaviors. Sign up for puppy and obedience classes once you bring your lab home. Many people believe that labs are an overactive breed. Lab dogs are definitely energetic, but most will slow a little as they grow. However, they usually remain fairly active throughout their lives. Labrador Retrievers aren't known to be escape artists, but with the right motivation, like a whiff of something delicious, the lab will take off. Make sure your lab has up-to-date identification tags and an electronic chip. Date: Labrador Retrievers hail from the island of Newfoundland, off the northeastern Atlantic coast of Canada. Originally called St. John's dogs, after the capital, Newfoundland, Labs served as companions and assistants to local hunters beginning in the 1700s. The dogs spent the days working alongside their owners, retrieving fish that escaped from hooks and towing in lines, and then returned home to spend the evening with the fisherman's family. Although their heritage is unknown, many believe that the St. John's dog has interbred with the Newfoundland dog and other small domestic water dogs. Outsiders noted the dog's utility and well-behaved, and English athletes imported quite a few labs to England to serve as hunting retrievers. The second Earl of Malmesbury was among the first, shipping St. John's dogs to England sometime around 1830. Earl of Malmesbury III was the first person to refer to dogs as Labradors. Amazingly, the Labs, now America's most popular dog, were nearly extinct by the 1880s, and the Malmesbury family and other English fans are credited with saving the breed. In Newfoundland, the breed has disappeared due to government restrictions and tax laws. Families were not allowed to keep more than one dog, and owning a female was subject to high taxes, so the puppy girls were culled from the litter. However, the breed survived in England, and the Kennel Club recognized the Labrador Retriever as a distinct breed in 1903. The American Kennel Club followed in 1917, and in the 1920s and 1930s, British laboratories were imported to create the breed. In the United States, the breed's popularity really began to show after World War II, and in 1991, the Labrador Retriever became the most popular dog registered with the American Kennel Club, and they have maintained that distinction ever since. It also tops the list in Canada and England. Today, Labs is engaged in drug and explosive detection, search and rescue, treatment, assistance to persons with disabilities, and as recoverers for hunters. They also excel in all forms of dog competition, show, field, agility, and obedience. Size: males stand 22.5 to 24.5 inches tall, and weigh 65 to 80 pounds. Females stand 21.5 to 23.5 inches, and weigh 55 to 70 pounds. Character: the Lab has the reputation of being one of the sweetest strains, and it is well deserved. They are open, eager to please, and friendly with both people and other animals. Aside from the winning character, they are intelligent and eager to please, which makes their training easy. Training is definitely necessary because this breed has a lot of energy and abundance. The Lab's practical heritage means they are energetic. This breed needs physical and mental activity to keep them happy. There is some difference in the activity level of laboratories. Some are noisy, others are more comfortable. Everything thrives on activity. Health: Labrador Retrievers are generally healthy, but like all breeds, they are susceptible to certain health conditions. Not all Labs will develop any or all of these diseases, but it is important to be aware of them if you are considering this breed. Hip dysplasia. Hip dysplasia is an inherited condition in which bone does not fit comfortably in the hip joint. Some dogs show pain and lameness on one or both of their hind legs, but you may not notice any signs of discomfort in a dog with hip dysplasia. As a dog ages, arthritis can develop. X-ray screening for hip dysplasia is done by the Orthopedic Foundation for Animals or the University of Pennsylvania Hip Improvement Program. Dogs with hip dysplasia should not be kept. Elbow dysplasia. This is a common genetic condition in large breed dogs. It is thought to be caused by different growth rates of the three bones that make up a dog's elbow, causing the joints to loosen up. This can lead to painful lameness. Your veterinarian may recommend surgery to correct the problem or medication to control pain. Dissecans osteochondrosis, OCD. This bone condition, caused by the improper growth of cartilage in the joints, usually occurs in the elbows, but is seen in the shoulders as well. It causes painful stiffness in the joint to the point that the dog is unable to bend his elbow. It can be detected in dogs from 4 to 9 months of age. Overfeeding your puppy, growth formula, or foods rich in protein may contribute to her development. Cataracts. As in humans, cataracts in dogs are characterized by cloudy spots on the lens of the eye that can grow over time. It can develop at any age and often does not impair vision, although some cases cause severe vision loss. Breeding dogs should be examined by a board-certified veterinary ophthalmologist to be certified free of hereditary eye diseases before they can be bred. Cataracts can usually be surgically removed with good results. Progressive retinal atrophy (PRA) is a family of ophthalmic diseases involving the progressive deterioration of the retina. Early in the disease, dogs develop night blindness. As the disease progresses, they also lose their vision during the day. Many dogs cope well with limited or complete vision loss, as long as their surroundings remain the same. Epilepsy. Labs may suffer from epilepsy, which causes mild or severe seizures. Seizures may be triggered by unusual behavior, such as running frantically as if you were being stalked, stunned, or in hiding. Epileptic seizures are scary to watch, but the long-term prognosis for dogs with idiopathic epilepsy is generally very good. It is important to remember that seizures can be caused by things other than idiopathic epilepsy, such as metabolic disorders, infectious diseases of the brain, tumors, exposure to toxins, severe head injuries, and more. Therefore, if your lab is experiencing seizures, it is important that you take them to the vet right away for an examination. Tricuspid valve dysplasia (TVD). TVD is a congenital heart defect that is increasingly common in the Labrador strain. Puppies are born with TVD, which is a malformation of the tricuspid valve on the right side of the heart. It can be mild or severe. Some dogs live without symptoms, and others die. TVD is detected by ultrasound. Research is ongoing to find out how common it is in the strain, as is treatment. Myopathy. Myopathy affects the muscles and the nervous system. The first signs appear early, at 6 weeks of age and often around 7 months. A puppy with myopathy is tired and stiff when walking and jogging. May collapse after exercise. Over time, the muscles atrophy and the dog could barely stand or walk. There is no cure, but rest and keeping your dog warm appears to reduce symptoms. Dogs with myopathy should not be bred because it is considered a genetic disease. Gastric decay. Volvulus, commonly called bloating, this is a life-threatening condition that affects large, deep-chested dogs such as labs, especially if they feed on one large meal a day, eat quickly, drink large amounts of water or exercise vigorously after eating. Bloating occurs when the stomach becomes swollen with gas or air and then wraps up. The dog cannot burp or vomit to rid itself of the excess air in its stomach and obstruct the flow of blood to the heart. The blood pressure drops and the dog goes into shock. Without immediate medical care, your dog can die. Suspected bloating: if your dog has flatulence, excessive drooling, and paranoia without vomiting. They may also be restless, depressed, lethargic, and weak with an accelerated heart rate. If you notice these symptoms, take your dog to the vet as soon as possible. Acute wet dermatitis. Acute wet dermatitis is a skin condition in which the skin is red and inflamed. It is caused by a bacterial infection. The most common name for this health concern is hotspots. Treatment includes cutting hair, bathing in medicated shampoo, and using antibiotics. Cold tail. Cold tail is a benign condition, although painfully common in labs and other recoveries. It also caused a graceful tail, which caused the dog's tail to loosen up. The dog may bite at the tail. It is not a cause for concern, and it usually resolves on its own within a few days. It is thought to be a problem with the muscles between the tail vertebrae. Air infections. The lab's love for water, along with eardrops, make them vulnerable to ear infections. A weekly checkup and cleaning if needed helps prevent infection. Care. A lovable lab must be around their family, and it is definitely not a backyard dog. If left alone for too long, they will likely tarnish their saintly reputation. A boredom lab capable of digging, chewing, or finding other destructive outlets for their energy. Labs show some difference in their activity levels, but they all require physical and mental activity. A 30-minute walk daily, a dog park walk, or game of fetch are some ways to help your lab burn off energy. However, the puppy should not be taken for long walks and should play for a few minutes at a time. Labrador retrievers are considered workaholics, and will exhaust themselves. It's up to you to finish the gameplay and training sessions. Labs have such a reputation that some owners believe they do not require training. This is a big mistake. Without training, a mobile lab puppy will soon grow into a very large boisterous dog. Fortunately, labs take training very well. In fact, they often excel in obedience competitions. You start out with a kindergarten puppy, which not only teaches your good-natured puppy canine but also helps them learn how to be comfortable dogs and people all over other. Find a classroom that uses positive training techniques that reward your dog for getting it right rather than punishing him for getting it wrong. You will need special care if you are raising a laboratory puppy. Don't let a lab puppy run and play on very hard surfaces like pavement until they are at least 2 years old and their joints are fully formed. Regular play on grass is as good as its agility, with its 1-inch jumps. Like all retrievers, the lab is my mouthful, and it delights them when they have something, anything, to hold in their mouths. It's also chewable, so be sure to provide strong toys all the time, unless you want to chew on the sofa. And when you leave the house, it is wise to keep your lab in a cage or breeding house so that they do not get involved in problems of chewing things they should not be chewing. Feed. Recommended daily amount: 2.5 to 3 cups of high-quality dry food daily, divided into 2 meals. Note: how much your adult dog eats depends on his size, age, build, metabolism, and activity level. Dogs are individuals, just like people, and they don't all need the same amount of food. It almost goes without saying that a very active dog will need more than just a potato dog. The quality of the dog food you buy also makes a difference. The better your dog's food, the more direction it will be toward feeding your dog and the less you'll need to shake it in the dog's bowl. Keep your lab in good shape by measuring their food and feeding them twice daily instead of letting the food out all the time. If you are not sure if they are overweight, take an eye exam and a hands-on test. First, look at them. You should be able to see the waist. Then place your hands on their backs, and thumbs along the spine, with fingers spread down. You should be able to feel his ribs but not be able to see them without pressing hard. If she can't, they need less food and more exercise. You will need special care if you are raising a laboratory puppy. These dogs grow very quickly between the ages of 4 and 7, which makes them vulnerable to bone disorders. Feed your puppy a high-quality, low-calorie diet that prevents him from growing too quickly. To learn more about lab feeding, see guidelines for buying the right food, feeding your puppy, and feeding your adult dog. Coat color and grooming. Lab's brushed, easy care coat consists of 2 layers: a short, thick, straight coat and a soft, weatherproof undercoat. The 2-layer coat protects them from cold and moisture, which aids them in their role as a hunter-gatherer. The coat comes in 3 colors: chocolate, black, and yellow. Black was a favorite color of early breeders, but over the years, yellow and chocolate labs have become popular. Some breeders have recently started selling the rare, colored Labrador Retriever, such as Arctic White or Fox Red. These shades aren't really rare, they're a different kind of yellow lab. Grooming doesn't get much easier from lab, but the strain sheds a lot. Buy a high-quality vacuum cleaner and clean your dog daily, especially when it is shedding, to get rid of falling hair. Labs need to take a shower approximately every 2 months to keep them clean and smelling good. Of course, if your lab is rolling in a mud puddle or something dirty, which they can do, it's okay to bathe them often. Brush your lab teeth at least 2 or 3 times a week to remove the buildup of tartar and bacteria lurking within it. Daily brushing is best if you want to prevent gum disease and bad breath. Trim the nails once or twice a month if your dog is not wearing them normally. If you can hear them clicking on the floor, they are very long. Short, neatly trimmed nails keep the feet in good shape and prevent your legs from being scratched when your tester enthusiastically jumps out to welcome you. Their ears should be checked weekly for redness or a foul odor, which could indicate an infection. When you examine your dog's ears, wipe them with a cotton swab soaked in a mild, pH-balanced ear cleaner to help prevent infection. Do not insert anything into the ear canal, just clean the outer ear. Since ear infections are common in labs, also clean the ears after bathing, swimming, or any time your dog gets wet. This helps prevent infection. Start to accustom your lab to being cleaned and checked when they are a puppy. Handle their paws frequently. Dogs are sensitive around their feet, and look inside their mouths. Make grooming a positive experience full of praise and rewards, and it will lay the groundwork for easy veterinary testing and other treatment when they are adults. While grooming, check for sores, rashes, or signs of infection such as redness, pain, or inflammation on the skin, nose, mouth, eyes, and on the feet. The eyes should be clear, without redness or drainage. A thorough weekly exam will help you spot potential health problems early. Children and other pets. Not only do Labrador retrievers love children, they enjoy the turmoil that they bring with them. They will happily attend the kid's birthday party, and even wear the party hat willingly. However, like all dogs, they need to be trained in how to behave around children, and children must be taught how to behave around a dog. As with every breed, you should always teach children how to approach and touch dogs, and always supervise any interactions between dogs and young children to prevent any biting or pulling of an ear or tail from either side. Teach your child to never approach any dog while eating, sleeping, or trying to take the dog's food away. No dog, no matter how friendly they are, should be left unsupervised with a child. If the lab is frequently exposed to dogs, cats, and other small animals, and is trained in how to interact with them, they will be friendly with other pets as well. Rescue groups. Rescue groups. Labs are often acquired without any clear understanding of what to own. There are many laboratories that need accreditation or strengthening in laboratory rescue groups. If you don't see a rescue list for your area, contact the National Breed Club or the local breed club and they can direct you towards the rescue in the lab. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell, so you get all new. Thank you for watching.